Major LaFlash. Alpha companies all present and accounted for.
Cool. All right, post. All right.
I think you're on Whisper.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Via donkey, as they say in African. All right. So, welcome, War Eagles. We have achieved the month of September already in 2022. Each month I'm up here, we are constantly doing great things. I was sharing with a few on my stream that we have 6 pages of ceremony notes, so I'll try to cruise through this as much as possible, but as I heard also, there's a couple citations out there that have, a thesis statement attached to them. So, first off, usually we like to start these off with kind of talking about some notes for whether we just came out of August and what kind of September looks like for us. So, those that weren't present in the month of August, on August 21st, we kind of blew it up pretty big, and we had our community spotlight or live session 2 weeks ago with our Arma or Bohemia community manager for Arma, LaFlash. He joined us. That video now, last time I checked, there's 2 videos out there. One from his video of the day, which is just a quick, I think like 10-15 second snippet of combat with us. We actually had he mostly referenced our radio comms. You hear quite a bit in there, a little bit of appreciation. We had Claire run with one of our squads, and I ideally had a blast from everything I've seen, and talk to him about, so with that's brought quite a few viewers to us, which was outstanding. Our socials got blown up, so we were tagged on our Facebook page, which that brought a couple dozen new likes to our Facebook page, as well as our Twitter. We got tagged as well. So that's awesome stuff to be able to blow that up a little bit, but then also just the recognition from the Arma platform itself, being able to have between the videos, it's just shy of 10,000 views between the 2 videos that have seen our unit in action and how we did it. We also had a nice interview in the beginning of his stream for about 30 minutes. So soon we'll be able to, in 60 days-ish from the point, so sometime in October, we'll have that video, because that's when it drops off of their official Twitch platform, and they make it a highlight, so then we can utilize it as our own needs. So we'll be able to put that up on our website as well. We have 2 soldiers I want to say congratulations to, is our 2 squad leaders, Staff Sergeant Winners, Sergeant Babel. They graduated in the month of August and early September here. Our squad leader development course. Those that don't know, all squad leaders are the first round through, so I think we only have 1 SL left to go through this course. As its first, I guess, phase rollout. This course was actually developed and is meant for our 2 ICs. That way we have 2 very qualified soldiers, and our 2 ICs, when a squad becomes available, are ready to go. There's no drop back or 2 steps back when a new SL takes over from that 2 IC slot. So we're looking forward to getting our last SL through it, and then as well getting our 2 ICs signed up. It is by invite only. It's nothing that you can really request if you're currently 2 IC. That decision is made by your COC on kind of what order. We only do a couple a month, so that we're not, there's several hours, I would say, of the online classroom and then in-game work/testing. So these 2 Staff Sergeant Winners, Sergeant Babel joined Sergeant Ivan for graduating the course. We also want to say congratulations to Warrant Officer 1, Crafty, who graduated Walk School and completed the capstone ceremony, I believe yesterday, right, Lieutenant Frost?
Yeah, Ethan.
So being able to complete Capstone, he's now a fully pledged flight pilot. So the more the better in terms of our needs of CAS, transport, recon. So now being an official Warrant Officer 1, the way that works is they get promoted right at Capstone there. So it's not a part of this ceremony, but I did want to make sure we call out a little special attention to that as he was the most recent graduate. So those that weren't aware, we posted a battalion summary thanks to a certain NCO that made sure that it was there. Oh, sorry, not NCO anymore. Warrant officer.
I was about to say.
But we post a battalion summary every time we have a command staff meeting. So if you haven't checked that out already, it's in our battalion area. But in there you might have read that we are going back to squad medics. I know this is something that we dabbled around with, not having squad medics and having 2 platoon medics. We kind of used the month of July and August as really trial runs to see how well that would work. And ultimately, if it was our only option, we would be able to make that work. I thought it was, moderately successful. But ultimately, we like our medics. So we are going to be bringing back squad medics into each squad. The state of that is that they have to be 68 Whiskey qualified prior to being put in that position. So it's not putting a CLS in that role and waiting for the next 68 Whiskey course. So that kind of handled through our platoon leadership. Ultimately, we will still keep our 2 platoon medics. So we have our platoon medic and the assistant platoon medic. That is to help us set up more of a CCP and then also get our medevac online in near future. As we obviously just graduated another pilot, that is a possibility of being able to now have our 2 platoon medics, 1 stay on the ground, 1 escort another medic in our bird, either back to base or at least get some medical supplies. With this, we will be, I'll say, deactivating our RTO slot. The responsibilities of really the comms will come more or less into our FO, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. So that's really where those go. FIG wants to announce some courses that are in the month of September. We will be having a land navigation course on September 15th at 1500. We will be having an air assault course on the 17th at 1800. And then we have a driver's operator course on September 30th at 1500. With that, with squad medics going now back into our squads, we will be fitting in a 68 Whiskey course in our month of September. That's still a TBA right now as for time frame, but just check there if you're looking to get in that medic slot of your squad. Obviously, talk with your squad leader because there might be a few others, and then make sure that we are gunning for that next course as well. Last notes, we have 3 anniversaries here in the month of September. We have Lewis, which will be getting his 1-year anniversary September 12th. We have Babel going to be getting his 1-year anniversary September 20th. And then we have recently returned Chief Warrant Officer 2 Strickland hitting his 1 year in September 29th. So these 3 soldiers will be in contact. I'll be in contact with you to give out our unit anniversary gift. I believe I just sent one to Sergeant Ivanov. And I hope it gets there. We'll see. I sent it to Russia, so we'll find out. That or we're both on a list now. I'm not sure how that works. In the month of August, we had several inductees into the unit. Not all made it through the month, unfortunately. So the soldiers that are currently enlisted still with us, we have Montana, we have S. Wolf, who just re-enlisted with us, Owa, Becklin, Lyons, Kovic, Troll, Perez, Layton, Shocked, Sanders, and Cruz, all enlisted with us in the month of August. Plus some others that just didn't make it through the entire month, unfortunately. So I'd like to shed some light. I mean, recruitment is a finicky thing, I guess, You know, it's a two-pronged system with the recruiting and then the retention side of it. That second R is extremely hard at all levels, whether you are that soldier's recruiter, the one that does his orientation, or maybe that soldier's fire team leader and squad leader. We try to two-prong the system to where we have both recruiter and leadership of the soldier interact and make sure that they are enjoying their experience and making sure that we have, you know, are meeting their needs. Most common thing that drops people out is just the times. They can't commit the times. They enlist, think it's all great, and then they hit their first weekend and think, oh God, this takes my time away from XYZ. So, you know, I want to say thank you to everybody that's here. For one, obviously, you guys make a hell of a commitment and a dedication to be here. And then also our new soldiers that I just listed. Looking forward to September. September actually is one of our larger recruitment months. If you look at, you know, we just announced 3 that just hit 1 year. A year ago they enlisted. But then we tend to find a little bit more. Our high school kids get back into school, and, you know, ideally are busy during the week now, and weekends are a little bit more free. And then we have our college students as well that get back into their dorms and have plenty of time on their hands. So without further ado, that's kind of our notes side of it. We'll kind of jump into our ceremony, which is an additional 5 pages. So with that, I will have Diaz, Ayers, and Dio post.
Dio's not here, Major.
Sound copy. Alright, Buffface. There you go. Alright, so Diaz here is in front of me. We have Ayers and Dio as well. All are being awarded the Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal. This is for donating $50 or more. In this case, all 3 hit $50 to earn this medal. For donating that amount of money to our unit fund in the month of August. You know, our unit fund is something that funds a lot of things for us, of course. Not only our website, our servers, our dedicated box through AWS. As I mentioned earlier with the unit anniversary gifts, it funds that as well. So we're helping donate into our unit fund so that we can serve our unit as a whole. You know, so being able to have something like our unit anniversary gifts is a differentiator for us. It makes us unique, and you don't see that very often around other units or other groups. So a big thank you to these 3. We did hit our $150 goal. That's our goal every month, so we'll renew that goal starting today. And once again, I mean, it's been, I'd have to go back and look. I'm starting to lose count, as I think we're probably at least the 1.5 year, if not 2 year mark of never missing our goal. And we have dedicated soldiers like these 3 and the hundreds prior over the years that are constantly making sure that they that we hit our goal. And it's outstanding to be able to have soldiers like this, and that's why it's so special to award them our appreciation. So a big thank you. Hello. Right. Buffus. Right. Thanks again. Fall back in. All right. Next up, I'll take Poltrack, if he's present. I see some movement, but no one posting. All right, Poltrack hit his anniversary last month, and he's hereby being awarded, hit his year anniversary last month, so is being awarded the Armed Forces Expeditionary Service Medal. So this is for our soldiers that achieve 1 year, a full year, 365 days or more, in our unit with a deployment. In this case, Poltrack has achieved that. If I recall, his was like the 8th, so he literally missed it by 1 day last month to get in this one. In this case, we also then, you know, next month, being that we have Lewis, Babel, and Strickland, you'd be on this list for next month because obviously you're not to 365 days yet. So a big thank you to Poltrack, and again, an ability to hit that time in service, that time in grade, shows the longevity of our unit as well. So, all right, hua. Let's see. Next up, if I can get Lieutenant Frost, Sergeant Babel, and Specialist McKinsey post. All right, about face. All right, these two plus McKinsey, which is actually on my stream, are hereby being awarded the Joint Service Achievement Medal, the JSAM. So the JSAM is one of those awards that is only given out to soldiers that serve in one of our DMOSs. So we have Lieutenant Frost as a Master Recruiter, 79 Tango, for RRO. During the last few months, he's taking over, or with my taking over the NCOIC slot, so you had the NCOIC write this up, of RRO, Lieutenant Frost has been crucial in the day-to-day operations of recruiting and retention, and continues to have one of the highest number of recruits processed in the month of August. So Lieutenant Frost was our primary recruiter that brought in 4 of those inductees that we talked about in the month of August. We have Sergeant Babel, which is being awarded the JSAM technically times 2. He was recommended through 2 different DMOSs for his dedication in there. We have first as a drill sergeant with FIG for his unwavering commitment to FIG, the exceptional leadership in its courses. In the last 3 months alone, Sergeant Babel has trained 25 new soldiers in OSET, in addition to his work with the 68 Whiskey Combat Medic course and elsewhere in the shop. He stands an example of excellence for our FIG cadre. Also, as a roster maintenance specialist, since joining BMO, Sergeant Babel continues to excel in his duties as a RMS. Whenever a new request is submitted, Babel assigns himself to it very rapidly. He also continues to he also completes the requests in due time and without errors. So to be there and do what you say you're going to do, right? Honor commitments, and that's exactly what these two did. We have then Specialist McKinsey for his work as a journalist in public affairs. Specialist has hit the ground running since taking over as the PIO team lead position, covering the journalists and creating news articles. Specialist McKinsey needs little to no supervision in the position and effectively gets after it and informs those under his care with the staff of the staff shop when a task needs to be completed, and really their deadlines. I'm in public affairs, so I really see that one as well with the specialist. Since taking over that role, he has really jumped right in and made sure that our real life articles are going out, as well as those about certain training courses, our OSET, whenever we complete a skill badge course as well. That's something that he's all over. So a big thank you to these 3. As I said, our DMOS is extremely important to us. In this case, being able to achieve our JSAM is really awesome to be able to award that. It shows what dedication they have. So a big thank you.
What?
About face. Thanks again, soldiers. Fall back in.
Private row. This is Babu's spot. Come on.
All right. We have next up. This next list is a little large, so I won't have people post. These soldiers that I'm about to read off are being awarded the Good Conduct Medal. In this case, it's almost a dozen, so we don't want the entire formation to have to post. But we have Warrant Officer Dio, Sergeant Winters, Sergeant Ivan, Warrant Officer 1 Crafty, Corporal Fives, Kidon, Kelso, D, Frost, Poltrak, Iricola, Kalen, and Nikas. All are hereby being awarded the Good Conduct Medal. Good Conduct is awarded for just that, good conduct. It's a every 3 month award. So being all over, TPRing if you can't make it, or being, of course, present, showing good conduct in terms of your professionalism and how you conduct yourself day to day, really shows towards the Good Conduct Medal. And the big one, you're not AWOL. You're not unaccounted for. So that is half the battle. So big thank you to those soldiers. Oh.
What?
Ooh.
Oh.
All right. So if I can get Dio, Brock, Ivanov, Garcia, and Babel post.
All right.
Hey, bud. Thanks for the DMAC. Thanks for the follow. All right, Buffface. All right, these 4 and 5 that I mentioned are hereby being awarded the Humanitarian Service Medal for 2 different reasons. So 4 of these, we have Brock, Ivan, Garcia, and Babel for achieving the 60 minimum required monthly votes on Clans List. Being able to vote daily, twice a day for 30 days straight is difficult. I'm not sure if you've ever tried it, but it's definitely a pain in the ass to actually make happen. So these 4 are constantly up here. Some I think are probably going to be maxed out here shortly on on the medal itself, but I doubt that'll stop them from continuing to vote. We know how vital our Clans List voting is to our unit. Many of you in this formation found us via Clans List because we're constantly at the top of that list, and then that gets exposure to our website, to our unit, and the rest goes from there. I mean, the way we're set up really helps. We then have Warrant Officer Dio being awarded the Humanitarian Service Medal for the original reason of the medal is for taking care of a soldier. So in this case, Dio bought 2 copies of the same game for 2 different soldiers, so that basically they can kind of play together on their downtime. So forking over $100 just so that he can have 2 fellow soldiers that wanted the game, wanted to play it, and a brand new game. So I mean, that has to be recognized for his selfishness. Warrant Officer Dio is also one that is constantly, as we talked about it earlier, on our Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal, so he donates monthly to our unit. And I know without hesitation, he's one that is always there asking, hey, do we need more? Do we need more for our unit fund, or what do you need from me as a soldier in the unit? So a big thank you to these 5. Those votes are so critical to us, and then have the dedication of these 5 really goes without saying. That a big thank you. About face. Thanks again, soldiers. Congratulations. Fall back in. All right. Next up.
All right.
Hey, thanks, Happy Creations. All right. So next up, if I can get Gas, Lions, Rowe, Owa, Montana, Kovic, Troll, and Perez post. Wrong button. There's always the one. There you go. Good job, bro. Alright, about face. Alright, so these soldiers are hereby being awarded the Combat Infantry Badge Stage 1. So in the month of August, many of these soldiers were on our list of first or inductees into the unit. Being able to... Oh, I am. Thanks. There we go. Being able to get their first glimpse of how we do our combat operations, as well as getting, in the thick of it, in the fight. They just had to serve in 1 combat operation. From there, they earn this their stage 1. Those that don't know, the stage 1 is only awarded 1 per operation, or per full operation campaign. So to get on to stage 2, stage 3, and so forth, it shows longevity in the unit, being able to serve. I mean, one of our operations is anywhere from 6 to 10 to 12 months, pending really where we're at. Currently right now, being deployed to Lithuania and Russia, we really might have it in for ourselves for a little while. So Congratulations to all of these soldiers, and welcome to the Combat Infantry Badge class. Ooh.
What?
Ooh.
About face. All right. Fall back in. Congratulations. Big clutch there. Thanks, Lewis. All right. Next up, if I can get Cooper, Brock, Vandal, Tucci, Grigg, Skinar, Snyder, and McKinsey post. About face? Alright, so this large list is hereby being awarded the Armed Forces Service Medal. So the AFSM is given out every 6 months of service in one of our DMOSs, so in one of the admin positions of our unit. So we have Cooper for 6 months in BMO. We have Brock for 6 months in Public Affairs. Vandal, 6 months in Public Affairs. Tucci as the OIC, 6 months in BMO. We have Sergeant Grigg for 6 months in Public Affairs. Skinar, 6 months in BMO. Snyder, 6 months in Public Affairs. And McKinsey wrapping out the 6 month in Public Affairs. Recently, as we talked about, just took over the Public Affairs lead over the journalism. So 6 months is, a good dedication, I guess, level. That's where this medal lands in at. Being able to serve consistently and be active and not be, somebody that's in a DMOS but then doesn't actually do something in said DMOS. We need to make sure that they're recognized, that we have soldiers that are providing for that DMOS, and that's exactly what this large mass of soldiers in front of you have done. And mostly, as you can see, BMO and PAO. So outstanding job to these soldiers. About face. Thanks again. Congratulations. Fall back in. Alright. Next up, if I can get Dio, Gray, Wolf, and Rowe post.
Gray TP out.
Copy.
What the fuck?
Cover down a little bit. There's only 2 of you. There you go. Take a nap. There you go. Alright, bow face, and then cover up a little bit. Alright, so these 4 soldiers are hereby being awarded the Army Achievement Medal. So each one has a little bit of a citation. So first I have Dio, Warrant Officer Dio, has been going above and beyond to help the 3 cab grow in numbers and standards of training. He's doing more than expected of his position in 3 cab. He recently was just promoted to flight lead for said dedication and strive of excellence. We have Gray being awarded the AAM with C device for combat during Operation Molten Pillar. Gray met the unfortunate fate of having to lead the squad while his 2IC was unconscious and his squad leader was just damn you, Gray. Let's see, by I should have pre-read this.
Do not worry, Major. I only put my heart and soul into
I see this. Luckily, it gets posted on the website for everybody to read. I'm going to say obliterated by a 122mm shell out of a T-72. Gray coordinated with the platoon to take out this threat and then organize the squad long enough for the support to arrive. He then led the rest of his team in clearing efforts while organizing the squad CCP over the radio at the same time. Ghosts were under half strength due to injuries by the enemy attack, successfully managing to finish our sector. Finish our sector under his supervision. The squad was healed, reorganized, and back into a blocking position. We have PFC Wolf. The private has shown a great amount of work ethic in the past month. He has helped get new members set up with the kit loadout without being asked to do. He continues to show them the proper way on how to act and never shy to offer advice. His dedication this past month has not gone unnoticed. He has helped his newly appointed FTL in areas which has led the squad focus on other tasks. We have Private Rowe being awarded with C device for mission Molten Pillar. The private stepped up while his TL was down and took control of Ghost Bravo squad. While also taking down multiple enemy armor assets, his ability to set up as a private second class in a role above his rank while still conducting his primary job is an example to 2nd Squad Ghosts, 1st Platoon Widowmakers, and 3rd Infantry Division Milsim. So, as you can see, all these are based around some sort of leadership. The AAM is a leadership medal, going above and beyond your normal role, your normal duty, taking on more than maybe you thought you would, as Specialist Gray citation obviously states. He's I believe the 3 IC that had to take command as his SL and 2 IC got destroyed. So as you can see, just being able to do what you say you're going to do, lead from the front, be that shining example of a soldier, not necessarily a leader in some of these, that you're not in a leadership position. So big congratulations, big thank you. Hua.
What?
Bellface? Thanks again. Congratulations. Fall back in. Alright. Next up, if I can get Diaz, Siegel, Vru, Kovic, Rowe, who's just up here, Owa, and Troll, post. Alright. Oh. Alright, Bowface. Alright, so these soldiers, as you can see, all private second classes are hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of PFC, private first class E3. So this is their first promotion outside of a training environment. You know, they currently have mosquito wings, and now they get that little rocker to add to the bottom. Being a PFC, this opens them up to other positions. You can lead a fire team at a PFC level, if that so chooses of your squad leader, I should say. But you at least have that ability. This opens you up to other DMOSs as well. Being in a DMOS is going to be a requirement for your next rank of specialist. So getting in there and seeing what DMOS is open to PFCs, there's quite a few of them, and they're all hiring, or most are hiring. So being in our unit for this amount of time, it shows that they at least enlisted and are here. You know, they don't get on this list without at least getting the basics down, voting this clans list votes, showing up, not being AWOL. They understood what they signed up to do in our unit, and that's be here or at least be accountable to when they can't be here. So big congratulations to these PFCs. Looking forward to hopefully seeing you next month, as you could be back up here for specialist within a month's time. So let's see what you can do this month of September. Hello, congratulations. All right, above face. Congrats, PFCs. Fall back in. All right. That's all taken care of. Well, next, let's get Marsh post. All right, Bowface. All right, Marsh here is hereby being awarded the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, as well as let me just get out this list for Marsh here. as well as the Combat Infantry Badge Stage 3, as well as, let's just keep going, the Combat Patch, the U3rd ID Combat Patch. So all of this spawned from the Specialist getting off his military deployment. So for one, thank you for your service, as he's been on LOA for a better part of almost just under a year, if not more. So in the month of August here, he returned. This is his first month that he got to participate in our Operation Blue Giant. So being that the Specialist has been in 2 other combat operations with us in prior years, he's hereby being awarded his Stage 3 of Combat Infantry Badge. With the Stage 3, we also award the Combat Patch, the 3rd ID Combat Patch, as well as I mentioned in the beginning, the Global War on Terrorism. So really hitting that 3 operations, you can load yourself up pretty good. But to get to that 3 combat operations in our unit could take anywhere from 2 to 3 years to do as well. So the longevity of it is why this happens, and we see 3 being issued, 3 different badges or awards being issued all at for one reason, and that's hitting those 3 combat operations. So a big thank you to Specialist here for his service, as well as his longevity in our unit. So congrats. Cool.
Ooh.
All right, Belface. Fall back in. Make sure I mark all those off. All right. Next up, if I can get Cooper post. Belface. Alright. Warrant Officer 1 Cooper is hereby being awarded his U.S. Army Aviator Wings. Last month, he completed his capstone ceremony, was up here, got his Warrant Officer 1, and now is officially into his aviator role, Army Aviator role. So with that, completing the required time and flight hours, he's hereby being awarded his aviator wings to pin to his beautiful uniform. Hooah. Belface. Congrats, Warrant Officer. Fall back in. So a little thing on Warrant Officer. He was the one, as I mentioned earlier, that did the making sure we post a battalion summary, holding me accountable. So A, thank you for that, because that's outstanding. B, those that don't know, he was one of our squad leaders for quite a long time, one of our senior squad leaders. Went over and decided he wanted to be a flight guy, and has doing outstanding since. So just a little extra appreciation to the Warrant Officer. So who? Do I have Crawford present? I think so, because I saw him dancing.
Yep.
Go ahead, post, Crawford. Alright, about face. Another outstanding member of our 3 cab. In this case, the Specialist really takes care of all ground operation. With Sergeant Bills on LOA, he's really taken over anything and everything ground related. So being awarded today is his Army Aviation Basic Crewman's Badge, crew member badge. So he's the one that if you hear, most likely the one, if we hear a minigun open up on the side of a Blackhawk, it's most likely him having some fun and mowing down some people. Hopefully all enemies and not civilians or us. But again, adds extreme value to our 3 cab since transferring there. In fact, he re-enlisted just to go there. So congratulations and thank you for your service. All right, Belface. All right, congratulations, Craw Dog. Get out of here. All right. Next up, if I can get Marsh and Montana post. Buffface. Alright. These two soldiers are hereby being awarded the ARCOM, Army Commendation Medal. So this is awarded for two different reasons here, both leadership in nature. Another wonderful citation by a certain squad leader here. So first we got Specialist Marsh, performed above and beyond during Presence Patrol number 10. Despite the fog of war during 3 separate occasions, he has led his team to a flanking position, counterattacked, or a reverse slope defense without orders from leadership and dealt with the enemy the best he could. By the time the squad leader was informed of this matter, it has already been dealt with, or the resistance was too great, so they held out while the second team arrived for assistance, or to assist. During our debrief, his squad leader received full details of the events, and his only comment is that the time the decisions was made by Specialist Marsh could have not been more accurate to what he could have decided himself. During that specific patrol, Marsh not only executed it in the best possible way, but also was on another level of teamwork with his team and leadership, we can all only strive to achieve. So then we have Montana here being awarded the ARCOM with C device for combat, heroism and skill while serving as an automatic rifleman of Scorpion Squad during Operation Blue Giant Mission Fault Plain. First squad was assigned to take on a scout patrol to a nearby hill that overlooked a number of villages on Objective Mudslide. While setting up a defensive position, the advancing Alpha team took contact from the rear. Ignoring his wounds, PFC Montana shoulder-fired his M249, eliminating the ambushing enemy squad. Montana then are interpreted and quick thinking, are keeping in with the highest traditions of the military, and reflect great credit upon himself, Alpha Company of the 3rd Infantry Division. So you can see both involve a little bit of combat. The stickler there is really whether or not it was a patrol versus an operation, or I should say a mission. In this case, one was with C device, one was during a patrol. So that's how we decide combat 1 or valor 1. As you can see, both are 100% leadership involved. They're taking care of their troops, making sure that they're protecting each other, making sure they have each other's backs. So, outstanding job. Cool. Buffface. Fall back in. Shut your ass, McKinsey. It's a very nice write-up, though. All right, next up, if I can get Brighton, S. Wolf, Montana, and Nikes post. Oh, sorry. Belface. All right. These soldiers, the 3 of you are up here today, are hereby being promoted to the E4 Specialist. Calling what we always say, entering the E4 Mafia. Being a specialist means many things. You're no longer a new guy, that FNG. You are an expert in your ground infantry. You are an expert in getting out of details and making sure the PFCs and the privates have to handle stuff. But ultimately, you're on that cusp of leadership. You take care of your team. As I said, you're an expert. Getting into this opens you up for many possibilities in DMOSs. As I mentioned, you have to be in a DMOS to even qualify to get into Specialist, as that's how important our DMOSs are, that we literally attach a rank to it. That you serve, that it's you're being selfless with your time and dedication into our unit, and that's really, as you move up further in the unit from specialist to an NCO, it only becomes more so. So a big thank you and congratulations to these 4. Welcome to the E4 Mafia. Belface. Fall back in. All right. Next up, if I can get Dio, McKinsey, Marsh, Gray, and Kelso. Post. All right, about face. All right, the two in front of you, but 5 total, was our soldiers that graduated our warrior leadership course that we held in the month of August. So this is our initial course to train our leadership, to train our NCOs. There's lots of different, well, death by PowerPoint. There's also just the longevity of taking the course, as it adds up to quite a few hours over 2 days. But these soldiers make sure that they made it a point to attend, to helps their leadership in general in our unit, but as well themselves. So they are hereby being awarded the NCO Professional Development Ribbon, which would be given and worn upon receiving their E4 Corporal or higher. So you have to be an NCO to receive this. As you can see, both these soldiers here are current specialists. Which is one of the requirements, of course, to get into leadership, or into a FTL slot. But being able to, lead from the front, I look forward to seeing these soldiers up here and achieving their future NCOs. So, congratulations. Hua. Bellface. All right, fall back in. In this case, we do have a couple that took the course again, so yes, McKinsey pointed that out, and I know Marsh has gone through it as well once. So you can always go through it multiple times. You always learn something new. With that, can I get Marsh and Gray? Well, we'll start there again.
Man, Gray, if he hadn't TPR'd.
Yeah, he would have been up here a lot. Same amount as Marsh. All right, Bellface. All right, the specialists here, both are hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of Corporal E4. Receiving that NCO core they are now junior NCOs. To be an NCO is a big thing in our unit. We've always said our NCO core is the backbone of this group. They're the ones that lead from the front. They take care of their teams, whether they are fire team leaders, squad leaders. As a corporal, you can start as a squad leader, and being able to achieve, that longevity in the group, having the team under you and lead from the front. Our NCOs do it all. So a big congratulations to these two. Entering that E4 corporal is a big deal. So congrats. Hua. All right, Bellface. All right, fall back in, Corporal. All right. Next up, if I can get, I think Pendergast is not present currently. Nope. All right. Pendergast is hereby pending a retirement. Officially, he put in he's a PFC. So the way this works, so Pendergast was our platoon medic for many years. He currently is residing in our reserve section. After just life got a hold of him, he has lots of responsibilities during the school year as a professor in France. As soon as I saw that discharge come through, the amount that he has done to our and for our unit goes untethered. Being our NCOIC of S2, he literally planned our prior operation and this operation up to his time of having to go into reserves. And he's one that has sunk thousands of hours probably into our unit in terms of his writing, in gameplay, his ability that he has done as an NCO for our unit. So I felt it justified to officially retire Pendergast as an E5, which he held for many years. So a big thank you to him and his service. Hua. Next up, I have Skanar and Shade, if they're present post. I don't think either are as well. Alright, well, good thing they're out of here. No, I'm joking. Both of these two soldiers, Skanar, currently serving as our NCOIC of COE, and Sergeant Shade, currently serving as our FO, also in the month of August, or in this case, even one was July, just timing-wise, hereby put in for retirement. In this case, both work schedule, both have served and dedicated tons of hours, again, probably thousands of hours over their service of multiple years each. And, you know, it's difficult to see soldiers that do that much for us retire and have to move on, but that's our gaming. It's that next man up, next soldier up. In this case, we'll have, you know, selection of a new OIC of BMO, or I mean of COE. We'll select a new FO as we continue to grow. You know, the mission is still going forward for us. But both these soldiers, you know, I wanted to make sure we recognize. In this case, Sergeant Shade has been a sergeant for years as well, being promoted to E6 staff sergeant for his retirement, and Corporal Skanar, kind of the same scenario as Pendergast, served multiple time with us, retired once as an E6, and then came back, served with us for another, I think he's up to 8 or 9 months this tour. But I felt, you know, the amount of work that he has put in on the COE side, as our S2 Zeus as well, lead, he's well deserved of getting back into that E5 or E6 retirement. So with that, I actually have 2 citations that each one is going to be given. So for this one, we have Sergeant Shade being awarded the Meritorious Service Medal for his service, recommended for military service, dedication, service loyalty to the unit. Sergeant Shade's expertise, commitment, and continued guidance within the unit has made him a vital part of its operations. Without his knowledge in the fire's warfighting functioned allowed for effective synchronization and interoperability. Thank you for those words. To the unit that is difficult to match. For all his time he has dedicated and his dedicated service to the unit, he has more than earned this award. Sergeant Shade's expertise, knowledge, and dedication are in keeping with the highest traditions of the military, reflect great credit upon himself, Alpha Company, within the 3rd Infantry Division. So a big hooah to him for his service, being awarded the Meritorious Service Medal for his retirement. We then have Corporal Skanar, now Staff Sergeant Skanar, being awarded the Joint Service Commendation Medal for his work as the NCOIC of COE, and I'll throw in there also his S2 responsibilities, for dedication, service, loyalty to the unit, his ability to provide fantastic operations for 30 dismounted personnel and a rotary wing detachment are unmatched. Corporal has proven to be an essential part of our unit and assisted in its growth since taking the position of OIC, or NCOIC of COE, as well as S2 and the Platoon Readiness NCO. His presence will be missed, and his role will be hard to fill. Skanar's expertise, skill, dedication are in keeping with the highest traditions of the military, reflect great credit upon himself and Alpha Company, 3rd Infantry Division. So both outstanding service, both have big shoes to fill. You know, really, there's not much more I could say about them. I mean, those citations really wrap it up. Their dedication and service with us is unmatched, and it's been a pleasure to serve with all 3 of our reporting NCOs here. But again, I go back to that's our NCO Corps. There's a soldier ready to take that role and pick up the ball and run forward to that goal line. So a big thank you for their service. Hooah.
Whoa.
All right. Make sure. Bum. Let's check in my notes. I have one more, if I didn't miss anything. All right. I think next up, get me Staff Sergeant Vandal post. All right, Buffface. All right. So this is Staff Sergeant Vandal. He likes long walks on the beach. He has been instrumental to our unit. Since enlisting with us, I remember the day. I contacted him via a social media post, and if I recall, I was a little aggressive with him on my enlistment, I guess, wording. But I say it's worth it. In this case, he enlisted with us. His real military career has really shined throughout our unit. He brings a lot of that expertise to be not only an NCO in our unit, but one of my trusted command staff, members. Prior to that, he was in an advisory board with myself and a couple other NCOs that, kind of, again, gave me the ability to have sensing sessions with them, throw ideas at them, get their honest opinion without them really having anything in play. It didn't benefit them any. They just gave me good feedback, and from the beginning, he was one of those soldiers. Being able to see him lead at the fire team leader level and quickly in that squad leader role to where he led first squad for quite some time until we had the promotion of Sergeant First Class Tucci at the time, going up into OCS. We then had the Staff Sergeant as really a shoe-in for getting into that platoon sergeant role, which he's been there for several months or a couple months now. And one of the greatest things that I've ever heard out of a soldier taking on a promotion in terms of responsibility, going from that SL to that platoon sergeant role, is I don't want it unless everybody agrees they want me to be it. And that's exactly what Staff Sergeant Vandal here asked. That we go and talk with all other squad leaders, making sure that they want to be led by Staff Sergeant Vandal. He wanted it to be a democracy, that they chose him versus a dictatorship of, oh, he's got put in that position, now his word's final. And with that, I see, there's no end in sight to Staff Sergeant. So I might as well just throw another rocker on and make him a Sergeant First Class E7. He's earned this role hand over fist, and this rank, but the continued longevity that he provides, the continued support, and mostly the console that he gives myself and the rest of the command staff goes unmatched. So a big thank you and big congratulations to now Sergeant First Class Vandal. Oh. All right, Balface. Congrats, Staff Sergeant. Now Sergeant First Class. Fall back in. All right. With that, I think that's pretty well a wrap. 6 pages is hard to keep track of, but first, again, outstanding summer, ladies and gentlemen. Now that we have jumped into September, the holiday season will be upon us quickly. A couple things that I haven't even discussed with C staff yet. Usually in the fall time frame, we try to hold the fall time frame every year or two. Usually it can be 2 to 3, but we start doing a survey, a unit survey. That's something I'm dabbling around with, opening it up, getting evaluations on our current leadership, whether that's C staff or squad leaders. So I look forward to that rolling out here most likely in October. But we'll have a little bit more information hopefully next ceremony. September is going to be a great month for us in terms of recruitment. I kind of have that feeling. Our recruiting and retention office has grown a little bit. We're in the middle of training several new soldiers. Our DMOSs are all-time high with CID, BMO, FIG doing outstanding. COE, I will put that out there. If anybody has any ability, Skinar's shoes that we have to fill is massive. Right now we have Cadet Tucci taking over as OIC in that DMOS, and we have some, we have server, website, stuff like that needs. So if anybody has that skill set and you feel comfortable, please contact Tucci. We'll kind of put you through the tests to make sure that it's what you say you're doing knows, because last thing we need is our servers and website to be down because of a oops. But so if you have any of that ability, please contact the cadet. Then public affairs, to top it all off, keep doing what you guys are doing on our public affairs side. We have our combat imaging, or our combat broadcast, and then our journalism that is also hiring. So if you haven't, check out that battalion summary about our last command staff meeting. And without further ado, I'll kind of hand it off here to Cadet Tucci. Go ahead, post. All right, take charge, dismiss your troops.
Thank you. Alright, Widowmakers, we're going to be doing a quick server restart here soon, but congratulations on all your awards and promotions. So when we restart, make sure you change your names and all that sort. So, yep, we're going to go ahead and restart here in a second, and I'll see the squad leaders in about 15 minutes.
Oh, congrats, soldiers.
Cool.
All right, I'm gonna drop stream here quick. I have a quick meeting, and then I'm going to jump back on. Thanks everybody that stopped in, said hello. Just a cookie. Like I said, Mackenzie, no, you're not getting a cookie. Make this. Yes, very much so, Mackenzie, very much so. But again, thanks for my 2 new subscribers with DMAC and Happy Creations. Much appreciated there on the follow and like. If you're watching on multiple platforms, we have Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Be sure to go and check the other one. Subscribe, like to all of them. Much appreciated. And I'll see you in about 30 minutes for our briefing for today's mission. Thanks, everybody.